3 of Kendell Lenice.
Ah!
This conversation was so good. We have to get and not good for ratings, but good for healings. My husband just walked in. He said, I don't even have the TV on. He said, woo, I'm telling you right now, that conversation, and he just came in here. And he said, I haven't even had the TV on. He said, I'm listening to y'all. He said, that thing right there, and that's the effect. He is a black man. He is a man. So this is not just for women and just talking about women's issues. This is something that resonates with men. So I hope you know that Valencia, and I'm not going to just put it all on Valencia, but I know, Shadana, you had something to say. And remember, you guys, you are watching Kendell Lenice Live. Please subscribe below. This is part 3.
Valencia, I just want to say that, you know, I commend you, sweetheart. I got nothing but love for you. And I'm going to just say this. I have not touched what you've gone through in life, sweetheart. So I haven't been burned. I haven't been raped like that or taken advantage. I mean, I've gone through things in life now, don't get me wrong, but I don't know your pain, baby. And and hearing you talk, God ain't mad at you. Everything you saying, he's not mad at you. And I'm going to tell you something. I respect you, sister to sister, woman to woman. I don't judge you, baby. I really don't. I don't know your pain, but I feel it with you. You don't carry it by yourself. You don't carry that pain by yourself. I feel it. I feel it. And you have every right to say what you're saying out of your mouth. And you don't have to apologize for feeling the way you feel.
That's right.
I'm telling you, I am here to hold that rod up, hold that banner up of victory as you're going through your healing. Sweetheart, you are an awesome woman. And you're still going through your healing, but you're going through. And I don't know, I would probably be right where you are, if not 6 feet under, if I experience what you experienced.
That's right. That's
so
right.
I don't judge you.
Right.
I am here to help lift you up. And I love you.
Thank you.
I love you. I love you.
Thank you. I did not want to. I'm gonna get you, Kay. I'm gonna get you. I'm coming to Baltimore this weekend. I'm gonna get you.
Let me just say, she always threatens me because I just want to love on her, and I just want to, and it's not even about the life coaching me, I just want to help her. But woman to woman, I just want to love her. Because I want to show her that another woman can love her and want nothing from her. Nothing.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
When you guys say, when you guys, you know, like when you say, I'm single, I commend that. You know, I actually went on she don't know this, but I actually tried a dating site.
Okay. Well, I did. Let me tell you, this is not, when I met with her a little while ago, she was trying to get on Love After Lockup. I said, only Valencia.
No, I ain't trying to hit on my card for my boo. I gotta write him this weekend and see if he okay in prison for the corona. But I'm gonna get on Love After Lockup.
And I told her, because I love that show, I told her, and I said, you can meet me at Panera, and I can be that one.
Is this card I got letters? I found all his letters.
But wait though, if you've ever watched Love After Lockup, it's always that one person now. Valencia, what do you do? I said, let me be that person in Panera so I can get on there and be like, are you sure?
Well, I mean, the thing is, like, my diva, like you, Miss Wilkes, I love that you're in love. Let me say that. I commend it. I celebrate it.
Yes.
And even though I cry my tears, I say my frustrations, I'm loving you because I am love. My grandmother raised me from love, so I don't know how to deviate from that. Right. But when I'm not getting it, I feel alone. I feel abandoned. I feel misused. I feel like, what's wrong? You know, like I go to surgery every 30 days. If we wasn't in quarantine or whatever the hell they want to call this mess, I'll be doing surgery. And it's just a lot. And it's like sometimes you want someone to hold you and say it's okay.
Yeah.
Everybody already know God is there. I'm not talking about God.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
Man, he knows man.
Yeah.
To say that it's okay.
That's why I said comforting for a man, because I agree. That's why I use the word comforting. And
but the thing is, I run that away because I'm so set in the mindset. I never tell nobody I don't need them. But I find out that one flaw that's not going to work for me, and I turn it away. I don't have the energy.
Right.
I don't have it. I mix the energy up and do other things. Like I got a wine thing I'm working on. I always build businesses from my frustration.
Good too.
It's crazy. It's just, I get it. I commit. Let me just say this. I offer, I love, I celebrate anybody that's in love. I don't hate it.
Right.
But for me, it's just not in my cards, guys. It's not.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Well, you know,
And I know Tashira, I know you wanted to say something. But go ahead and Deirdre. And
I was just going to say, I just appreciate how real you're being about this, you know, and you're a survivor. It's like you don't know how to do anything but survive. Even if you don't want to survive, you're going to survive.
That's right.
And, you know, these things that you're talking about, that you find something with somebody and you push them away. And yes, your defense mechanisms are in overdrive. And as much as that's frustrating, it's also the reason why you're still living and breathing today. You know, and so it's like trying to make peace with that part. Not saying that it's like, oh, you know, I want to go and just say that I'm happy with this and this is the way. No, you want yourself a man, and I understand that. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing wrong.
Like to be safe. I want to know what it's like to walk the house all night and check doors and lock
Exactly.
windows.
Yeah.
I want to lay on a big ass, real ass chest.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's okay. And so, you know, it's like there's a process that I see. I mean, I've only known you now for a little itty bitty time, but
3 sessions and we going to 4 because leave it up to her. She's going to have 10 sessions.
No,
that's there's a process that's going on with you right now where your defense mechanisms, you are developing a relationship with that and setting up boundaries. And you're saying, hey, listen, this has gotten me here to this point, but it's also going and it's closing me off of some certain things. And so we have to figure out a new way to make this work.
That's right.
You're in that process. You're still in that metamorphosis, sweetheart. And I don't want to say that because, listen, you're a grown woman, so I'm not trying to talk down to you or whatever.
No, I know you're not. I don't take any. What y'all tell me, I take it in and I'm feeding it. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I'm gonna get on her later. But like I tell her, I might fuss and fight with you. I might fuss and fight, and I might be like, I'm not doing it. But I do sit down and I process it, and I individually do it. Like me and her had lunch like 2 months ago. I met a dude at the damn Panera, and I was like, "What's your name?" He gave me his number. Like it ain't no problem with me beating nobody. It's just I don't have it.
Yeah.
I just don't have it. Like what happened to the old fashioned way you send flowers? What happened to the old fashioned? I met one dude. He said, "You like Bill?" I said,
"Until you get that, you gotta send them to yourself. Until you get that, because it really is. It does start, and I think Taki said it earlier. It starts with self-love. So until you get a man to do that, you treat yourself to flowers. Send yourself flowers.
I do myself to flowers, but I mean,
about telling them you want your flowers. That's the other part too. It's like, hey, if you want to be with me, you need to send some flowers. Here's my florist.
I totally get it.
And Kendell, can I just add, like,
yes, add boo, because I'm coming for you too.
Then I want to share to speak because I know she's been waiting to speak.
Okay.
He looks so good over there too with that pose.
But go ahead, Taki, and then Tashira, I want you to speak.
Oh, I just wanted to add that when I met Valencia, like she says that you know, she wants to feel loved and all this stuff. And I mean, like, she blew my mind when I met her. Like, the day I met her, I said, she is amazing. And it was the strength that you had that was super attractive to me, because I've been one of those people that hasn't always had that strength. Like, I've been a person that has been walked on and treated poorly because I didn't stand up for myself, because I didn't have the strength to defend myself. So when I saw you, and let me tell you, when I saw her, we were in front of a room full of church going.
Yeah, she had me in church.
And she was mad. And she was mad at me. She was mad at me. She said, "You didn't tell me you were inviting me to church." And I said, I didn't know it was church per se. But then guess what she did? In the middle of that, in the middle of her fussing at me, "You didn't tell me you were at church." She sends me a text to Key. You know this. She sent me a text and said, "I just felt the Spirit telling me that I need to tell my testimony in front of all of these women." So just like she described herself, she's absolutely right. She will fuss at you, she'll be mad at you, but she's listening, trust me. And sure enough, Taki, you were there to witness. She got up. And let me tell you something. Let me tell y'all the impact. And Taki, I definitely want you to finish. But let me tell y'all the impact. And Taki can bear witness to this, the impact that Valencia had on these women. She went up to tell her testimony. I was holding her hand the whole time. She was saying, "I'm nervous, I'm scared, I never shared this much of me." She got up there, and I'm telling you, the impact that she had with these women, she inspired so many women. Once she told her story to Keith, am I lying? Once she told her story, droves of women went up there to tell their story. And they were coming up to her left and right, weren't they, Taki?
Yes, it was amazing. Like, so all these women are serious church-going women. We having praise and worship. There's pastors and ministers and prophetic leaders. And in front of them all, she stood up and said, "I have a problem with God."
Yes, she did. Yes, she did.
Because of what happened to me. And I thought that was like the boldest, most daring, most strong thing that you could do, because most people would have felt uncomfortable in a room full of believers to say,
"I was uncomfortable, girl.
This is what I'm wrestling with," right? But not only that, Valencia was fabulous. So
yes, she was.
Until Kendell told me everything that Valencia had been through, or I should say, until Valencia shared some of her story, I had no idea that she had any of this going on. Like, she is a burn victim, but her skin, she had like this cute top. I wouldn't have even known. I did not notice any scars. I didn't notice anything. She had her lashes, her makeup, her shoes, like she was fly. So for her to now say, "Well, I just don't feel this," and I'm like, who is this person? Because I never saw that, Valencia. And you strengthened me, because Kendell had been working with me, like, open up, share your story, blah, blah, blah.
We still gotta get together. You keep pushing me to the side. We gotta get together.
So we're gonna all get together. I'm gonna make that my
I mean, I thank you so much. I don't, one thing about me, she'll tell you, I don't like telling my story. Even the pastor looked at me I said, "I don't like the church. Church a lot."
And then she blamed me, and then she said, "I don't know why she brought me here."
But after she gave her testimony, all these women came up on both sides of her, and they all started. So it was like they asked for testimonies, and a couple of women stood up. But once Valencia stood up, it was what everybody needed to hear. And she touched so many people. And I say that because sometimes when we're gifted with certain talent, skills, and abilities, we may want a partner, and we may want somebody to go through it with us, but sometimes it's not for that right now. Sometimes it's because we're here to help. And if you have a man or a relationship, sometimes that can take you off the course that God has chosen for you. And I can definitely, just by seeing you at that conference, God gifted you with the ability to reach people in pain. So you went through pain, and unfortunately, he chose you. And I don't know why he chose you, but maybe because you can handle it. Maybe you don't feel like you can handle it, but you're still standing. If I went through half,
that's right,
I wouldn't. I just wouldn't. You know, I had to do a lot of things to get to the point where I'm at, and it was tough then. So he gifted you with this skill and this talent for you to reach and touch other women. So while you're reaching and touching other women, he probably does not want that distraction, which is why you immediately put up those defenses and find ways to maybe sabotage some of those relationships because it's not on the course of what God has for you. You are touching. Look how you got this. You got us into part 3. Now you were sleeping off and on and dozing and wanting
to sign off to you, sign off, so you don't need no part 4. I'm gonna say
we definitely we'll do part 4 next month. But just like Deirdre said, in Valencia, I tell you this all the time. That's why I'm so glad Deirdre said that, because sometimes I'm like the parent. So, when a parent continuously tells you something, try to build you up, you're beautiful, you're pretty, you don't believe it because you're just saying that because you love me and you're the parent. But now coming from ladies who she just met and Takeda who she met saying the same thing, and Deirdre saying you are a survivor. And I always tell her you are still here because you still have purpose and your impact. Because the men on the men's forum, Leroy McKenzie said, when I asked him to describe women, he said impactful. And he said that women have the ability to impact men. And I say women have the ability to impact other women too. So all of these women, you're a survivor. You're still here because you still have purpose. You were, if you were any less than Valencia, you would be dead right now.
Yeah.
If you had gone through, you are supposed to have gone through whatever, all of this stuff for a purpose. Just like Takeda said, when you were up there, it was amazing. You were squeezing my hand, but you were talking. She was mad at me, but then that's how it is. Because I know what she has in her. I know what she's been through, and I know this girl, I'm telling you, businesswoman, we got to talk about women in business later, but businesswoman, very savvy, very talented, just a beautiful soul. So I'm glad that you all are saying this. Tashira. You have been waiting to say, and I can see you writing down, you are learning, you are growing, you are writing things down.
Because what y'all have to understand is that I'm a psychology major. And like Valencia, I heard everything that everybody else was saying, but sometimes when you're going through things like this, you don't need to hear everything from everybody. That's what I picked up from it, period, point blank, not taking nothing from nobody. She was going through a cycle of, I don't want to hear nothing you got to say. Yeah, I know she was there. And the only reason why I said that is because I look at body language. And I listen really, really intently to what someone else is saying. And then she just felt like, this is just me. I'm just doing my own observation about it.
No, that's fine. This is Valencia's body language. Anytime anybody is saying anything, that's Valencia's body language. So that's part of who she is, and then she'll come back verbatim and repeat everything you said.
No,
that's her way.
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying for someone like me, I don't know. I'm just meeting her for the first time. So therefore, when everybody was saying so much, it was just a lot. You know what I mean? Where, like she said, that she tapped out. You know what I mean? Naturally, sometimes you tap out, and I understand how she felt when it comes to people being hypocritical.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because some people don't know how to deal with people that are raw, uncut, and uncensored. Some people don't know how to deal with people like that. I've toned it down a notch. Praise God. Hallelujah for that. But some people don't know how to deal with that type of someone that's that kind of strong. You know what I mean? And I just wanted to say, outside of everything, I'm glad that we have this sister circle going on. I'm glad to have met everyone. But Valencia, once after this is over, get my number from Kendéll. Get my number from Kendéll.
Thank you, because I get it from work too. My supervisor has to cover for me from time to time because patients feel I have an attitude and I don't.
Right,
it's
right. You go somewhere. You go somewhere.
Right, because I'm strong.
Right.
I say it in the tone, it's wrong. And it's like, I don't know no other way to be. Just the streets raised me. My grandparents.
I get you. I understand it.
I think everybody on here gets her, honestly. We all get her. And we all respect where she is. And I still say your mess becomes your ministry.
Absolutely.
And you know, I'm saying this to just say life is not fair, but we have to realize we're not here for us. Life isn't really always about us. It's really about to bring God glory. And when he says he won't put no more on us than we can bear, it's something about her that he trusts. He knew what a strong person she was, that he could trust her to walk out this ministry she's doing. And right now she can't hear it. Right now she can't receive it. But I'm telling you, God knew he couldn't give it to me because I'd be 6 feet under. He couldn't give it to somebody else. But believe it or not, right now isn't her time to, where she can see that light. And maybe she can, because the love is being poured into her. She needs to hear it. That support, she needs to have it. And I'm telling you, even though you don't want to hear this, but I'm just going to tell you, honey, God loves you. And don't get that twisted. He loves you. And he knew you could do what us other women couldn't do to reach the women you reached as you did when you went into that church. And there's so many other women hurting who has gone through what you've gone through, and some that you and only you can reach out and touch and help, that I can't even help. So, sister, I commend you. I commend you. And I love you and God, but don't ever get it twisted and don't think God don't love you, honey.
Right.
He loves you.
Deirdre, what are your thoughts? I see you looking. What's going on? I see you looking in admiration. This is what I get from you. You're looking in admiration. You're proud of her. You're saying, I love this sister. That's what your face looks like. What are you thinking?
Well, I was thinking a couple of things. One is, again, like I said, I want to give respect to Valencia in terms of, I don't want to read her mind in terms of what she's thinking or anything like that. What I can say is I respect her pain and her rawness and her realness of where she's at. And what I can also say is, having been in a place in terms of, I heard what Valencia said earlier in terms of, where she was with God and what she wanted to hear and what she didn't want to hear. And I could only reflect back to when I was in a situation where I knew that God loved me, but it wasn't having somebody else tell me that, and that's not trying to be disrespectful to what my wonderful sisters are saying. My experience was having more people tell me that wasn't what I needed. For me, it was more of the validation of what I was feeling. And part of it is, yes, you go through stuff, but I didn't want it to be my ministry. I got tired of people telling me how strong I was and all the things I overcame. I didn't want all that. Ain't nobody asked for all that. I didn't want to hear about this was my person. So give this to somebody, pass it to the left, and let me have a life. And so that's kind of, it took me back a little bit listening to it, and it wasn't in a negative way, because I will say that when I was going through it, when people would try to talk to me that way, I would lash out. Because I was in pain.
What we have said to you back then, if you were to talk to yourself when you were going through it back then, what would you have said to yourself? What can we say to someone in that pain?
Well, I have one friend, and again, I'm not going to go and try to say that this is where Valencia is at, because I'm not Valencia.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. I want to really respect that.
That's right. That's right.
What I will say is, for me, when I was in that situation, all I wanted was somebody to validate and agree with where I was.
Mm-hmm.
And to say, you know what? This
Just
sucks.
to see, it's about really just seeing you for what you're
I don't want to hear about the purpose.
That's right.
I don't want to hear that there's a higher power. I don't want to hear any of that. All I want somebody to do is just agree with me. I'm not losing my mind. This sucks. This is bad. I don't want to be in it.
Thank you. I just wanted somebody to say it's okay that you feel that way.
That's right.
That's right. Now, well, maybe if we try it this way. Excuse my friend.
Just say
exactly. Exactly, Valencia.
That's right. No,
I'm right there with you.
And Deirdre,
you know what? And that's so true too. Because a lot of people would say that too to me, like family members. They say, "You have so much hate for your ex." I'm not going to say his name because I'm not going to sit here and mail, but you hate him. It's not that I hate him. I hated the situation. Excuse me. I disliked the situation I was in. I disliked that my children were witnesses of abuse.
Right.
So when family members say, "You got so much hate, you're just so bitter towards him," it's not that. You don't walk in my shoes. You didn't walk in my shoes.
That's right.
I mean, I got advice from people that just didn't even have children or didn't have, weren't in a marriage. You don't understand. I'm not an angry Black woman. No, I'm not.
Right.
But you don't know what I had to endure. And I don't want to hear that I'm angry, I'm this, I'm that. It's just that stuff was real. It was painful. And then to watch your children go through some things as well. No, it's not that. So, Valencia, you have every right to feel
That's right.
Because people judge me, they say so much. And I said,
you're
absolutely
right. I do get tired of people saying, "Oh, you're strong."
Right.
I get tired of people saying, "I don't come to you because you have you've really been through a lot. I could never do it." The only person that's keeping me together is God. Because trust and believe, if I had the time, if I did not have my son, I told my therapist, I said, if I did not have my son,
amen,
I would be in a corner somewhere and I'd be dead.
Yeah,
because nobody has taken the time out and say, just tell me how you're feeling.
That's right.
Going on with you.
That's right. That's right. And you know what, Valencia? I'm so glad you said that. Deirdre, I'm so glad you said it. Shadana, Taki, Tashira, Candace, I'm so glad you said that, because really at the end of the day, you want people to see you, and you want people to give you a right, in a sense, to feel how you feel. Not say, stop crying, you shouldn't feel this way, you did this, you did that. Most people just want to be seen, especially women. We just want to know that you heard us. We want to know that you're there, that we want to hear that if we're crying, that you say, go on, girl, continue to cry. Not stop crying. Why are you crying? Why are you being so emotional?
Count your blessings.
This is how I feel, and this is what I want. I want you to say, I see you. Go on.
And a lot of times when I get into an argument or a disagreement with anybody, it's not that I don't hear you, but it's like, really stop the bullshit. I met a guy and we was hitting it off. I had a bad night. I wasn't crying or anything. True story. It just happened 3 weeks ago. Oh my God. He said, what's going on? I don't get, ever since this fire, all I had to do is suck it up and keep moving. I haven't had a moment, and I'm not saying I'm privileged or special.
Right.
I haven't had time to break down. So when I get a moment to break down and shit hit, don't get me wrong, I get my little Hennessy, I take a shot or two, and he be talking to me. And when I sit there and I be like, oh my God, and I think about everything, I break down and cry. As soon as I broke down and cried with him, he know what he told me. He said, you got to find the strength in yourself. I don't have time to look back. So basically, are you telling me because I cried? You asked me what was wrong.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
So as soon as I broke down to show you, see, this is why I give a heart exterior. Because as soon as I show you that side, I was always told, suck it up. You ain't supposed to cry. Get going with it. Then it's like, oh, show your feelings. What am I supposed to do? I don't know how to be a woman. I know I'm a woman, but I'm playing a man role to raise a young man, and I'm being a woman at the same time. But I need a man to show me what a man is. Because when you step in, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Valencia, I'm so glad that you said that, because the men are saying, no,
don't apologize.
So that. And the reason
do
why
not apologize.
No.
I just get so tired. I want to know what it is. Don't get me wrong, I had a wife. Yes, I love the way she communicated with me. That's what made me love her. But at the same time, we cannot lay my burdens down on somebody to say it's okay and trust it.
Right.
Oh,
I'm just so glad that you said what you said, Valencia.
Oh, God.
Because men were here and we had the men's forum. Men talked about not being able to share their emotions or feelings because some women are saying the same thing. So I just want everybody to realize that at the end of the day, we're all people and we all men and women. We all want somebody to love us, to validate us, to let us know that we're okay. Let us know that we can be free to be who we are. And all of these masks and all of these different identities people have to have in order to be liked, in order to be loved. If you this way, I can love you. If you're that way, I love you. And at the end of the day, as people, we just want to be loved. We want to be validated. And we want to know that we can be ourselves and still be loved. And that's why in relationships, even with my husband, I tell him, I said, I want you to see the good, the bad, and the ugly, because you cannot tell me you love me until you have seen all of me. Not Lady Motivator, not just Kendell Lenice, what you see, but all of me and all the facets of me as a woman. Then I will believe that you love me. You know what I mean? Because that's really what love is. So being authentically you, I'm all for that, because there are different sides to you. And Valencia, you are lovable, period. And that's all I'm going to say. Feel how you feel. Cry when you want to. Be mad when you want to. Be angry. Cuss when you want to. Be exactly who you are. And if somebody does take who you really are, then they don't need to take up any space in your life, whether it's a man, a woman, a friend, a husband, a wife, whoever.
Right.
And you know what, Valencia, have your guard up. Because I'm going to be honest. I mean, although we all talking about love and being in love. Yes, I love the person I'm with. However, I'm very guarded now. I am so afraid. I was telling Tiki, I'm going to be very transparent. The guy or whoever I go the next go round, I am very guarded. I'm so afraid. I want to protect my assets. I want to protect my children. The man that I married previously, I would go every other weekend. I would come back on Monday. I would go. I would come back. And he knew that. And I had nowhere to lay my head. So for the year in which I was separated, I laid my head in my aunt's house for 6 months. Me and my children in one room. For 6 months, me and my kids, okay? Then I shifted from my aunt's house to my grandparents' house for 6 months. I didn't have to stay in a one bedroom, but I did. And now it's like, I never want that stripped from me again. I never want anybody to tell me I have nowhere to lay my head, no shelter. So the next man that I'm with, I decided to get married. It must be a prenup, and I'm keeping my house. I'm sorry to say. I'm keeping my house because I'm so
Don't be
afraid.
sorry. Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry.
I apologize for that. That's called common sense.
I never allow another man to tell me I cannot stay or leave or do whatever. I will put a tenant in my property until such time because I don't trust. I love
trust is very hard to come by,
and I'm guarded, and I'm afraid somebody's gonna strip me of what I've been through before.
I don't think that's where I feel like
I don't think he will.
That's where I'm going. Nobody's going to take nothing else away from me.
Valencia, 1 second. I want Candace, I want you to finish that out because I think it's very important.
I'm sorry.
Sure, that's okay. No. I'm very guarded because I know I don't want anybody else to strip me of what I was taking. That person took everything from me, but I will never not have a shelter to go home to, and I'll never not have somewhere for my kids to lay their head. And to this day, y'all, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm working through some other things that they still want to sleep in the bed with me because you know why? For a whole year, that's what we did. And a whole year, that's what they were comforted and they knew they were used to. So I'm not gonna allow it to happen to me again. And I'm guarded, and I'm sorry, not to say I'm sorry, but what I'm saying is that I'm so guarded that I just, not to say I'm afraid to fall in love,
I know what you mean.
Right. There we go.
It's like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Mr. Hyde has a whole nother place where you're making sure you're secure, but yet on the Dr. Jekyll side, you're gonna love that person, but as soon as you, excuse my French, fuck up, I'm going on the other side because I know I'm secure. Yeah. And I'm working on that now because anybody coming in my life, they will never know I have all this going on the opposite side.
Yeah.
And I want to say this to Candace, and I'm not just saying this for TV, I've told this personally. Candace is one of the most genuine, the most sweet people I have ever met in my life. Like genuinely sweet, genuinely sister. When you talk about sisterhood, like she truly is the definition. And Taki, you will agree, she is one of the sweetest people naturally that I've ever met, the most giving and the most loving people. So, and I just want to be, when she said, I'm not an angry Black woman, I can really, I can really attest to that for Candace.
Yeah.
But people don't understand with some women and what they go through. And I hate that term, angry Black women. And it's sometimes what you go through in life and in relationships and certain things that make you hardened, that make you quote unquote that angry Black woman. I never heard anybody say angry white women. And some white women are angry and they've been through the same thing. But I want to stress that because Candace is, and she's not an angry Black woman, and none of these women on here are. But you gotta understand, sometimes what you've been through builds you. And it depends on how you decide to handle that when it's right. Because sometimes it's right to stay in that stuff and to be mad and to be angry. Whatever's going to move you to do whatever you need to do and be whoever you're going to be. But I would never apologize for being in that space, because you're in that space because you need to be in that space for that moment. And then when it's time, you will move from that. So never apologize for your feelings, and never, and I don't like when people put you in a position where you have to defend who you are. You shouldn't have to defend, if they're walking on this earth like you should never have to defend who you are to anyone. To anyone. So I want to talk about that, and we're about to close out because my people have been waiting for this chili for like 8 hours, but that's all right. We're not even going to talk about that. But I wanted to, my daughter's laughing over there because she came up, she said, are you still making the chili? I'm like, yeah, we can eat. We ate at 11, 12 o'clock before it already in front.
You got me hungry now.
But that's what happens. Right, but that's what happens. But I just want to talk about that. Like when you hear someone say angry Black woman, and I'll start with Deirdre and I'll go to Shadana and I'll go all the way around. But when you hear angry Black woman, or you just mad, or you just angry, or you just bitter, it doesn't come from the sky. It comes from somewhere. So when you hear that, Deirdre, what are your thoughts about that?
Okay, so I'll tell you a real short story. So not the job that I'm at now, but a previous job I was at. This guy, white man from New England, was my boss. He was an HR director. And everything was great when I agreed with him. And then the one time that I showed him that I knew what I was talking about and he was actually wrong, I became on the outs in everything. He was just out to get me. And I'm sorry, my dad did not raise no punk. So, he wants to go and step to me wrong. I'm not, I'm a grown woman. I got stretch marks and gray hair. Do not expect me to be treating you like, what? No. So he would go and be disrespectful. And so he called me into his office and he's talking to me about something and I'm just looking at him. And he says, I don't like the look on your face. And I said, oh, well, I don't like this conversation, so I guess we're even. What? You gonna write me up for a facial expression? I'm sorry. I'm not an angry Black woman, but I am a woman that is going to demand to be treated with respect. And if that's not going to happen, I don't care who you are. You can be the CEO of the organization or whatever, and I'm not going to give you all of this and all of that, but I will tell you when you're wrong. I will tell you that you are going to address me with the same respect that you expect people to address you. And if that's a problem, then we're going to have to deal with that. Because I also know my HR stuff. And if you try to do something, I'm going to sue you. But, it's that kind of thing. And yes, I did deal with that because of the fact that I stood my ground. I was labeled this angry Black woman. And
I think that's so unfair. And that label is attached to us, sometimes unwarranted. And like you said, because you stood up for yourself and you demand respect. And I think that we have to come to some type of agreement and understanding, because they know, let's just be real. People know, because you don't hear a man saying you're an angry man when he is assertive and when he stands up for himself or when he requires respect. So we want the same respect. What about you, Shadana? And we're going to quickly go around.
Right. Angry black woman, that just, it's like how they say water and oil. I'm just like, please. It goes in one ear and out the other. To me, you're just saying you see a woman of strength. You see a woman that has history. You see a woman with wisdom. So it's not an angry black woman. It's a woman that has learned from her past, and you're seeing wisdom and you're seeing strength. So.
I love that. All right, Valencia.
What? When they say angry black woman?
Yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts about that? And we're going to just quickly go around. So
I just think that they're intimidated.
Ooh, intimidated.
When I say intimidated, strength. I mean, let's just really think that we're of an age where, I'll make it very quick, we're at an age where a lot of the men that were grown to be men are either married, dead, deceased, or in the home, or they have forgotten how to be men because they have allowed themselves to meet those type of women that has taken that away. So that's my word.
Good. Taki?
I don't know. When I hear angry black woman, oftentimes I just think about where we come from as black women. The black woman has been treated worse than anybody in this world. I mean, you can go way back, but we've had we've been mistreated the worst. And no matter how badly we've been treated, we've always had to survive. We've always had to survive.
Yes.
No matter what we were feeling, no matter if master was raping us, no matter if what, we still had to feed our children. We still had to breastfeed their babies. We still had to do whatever to survive. And so, you know, I will say I haven't always used my voice, but I've always had my voice. And I have felt in certain settings, especially in corporate America, like the angry black woman. But I just think because of all we've been through, there's just a certain level of respect that we demand. And they don't always know how to take it. I think sometimes they just want us to be pretty or just shut up and take it. And whenever we feel like that's what they're trying to dish out, there's just something in us, just innate from way back when, and from all the things that we've been through, that just comes out in how we address certain things. And so it's just something that comes with the territory. I don't claim that title, I don't receive it, but I understand where it comes from.
Yeah, I agree with you. I understand, because they don't know how to. See, the thing is, we're in a time and we're in a place where people have to have labels. They got to label you something. They have to be able to identify you and put you in this box. But I agree.
I got one for you.
Yeah, the black women that I know are not angry.
Right.
They sometimes mistake passion for anger. Or assertiveness for anger. And it's not about being angry. That's why it's important, and I'm going to do the forum with men and women, because that's why it's important that we understand one another, so that man can say, hey, this woman is not angry. And sometimes, you know, as sad as it sounds, sometimes it might take a man to say, hey, this woman is not angry, because sometimes a woman's voice is dimmed. That it's statistically proven, if you have a man speaking and a woman speaking, they're not going to hear the woman speaking. They're going to hear the man. And you can look at them.
They're taught to be seen, not heard.
Yeah.
Or like he said.
Yeah,
sometimes,
go ahead, and I'm going to get to you.
Sometimes in a relationship, like Taki said, unfortunately, the little boy, not the man, the little boy has brought the woman down so badly and said so many things and that the little boy has caused the woman to be angry because of his action. But a grown man, there's a lot of grown men out here, and I respect y'all men. The grown man who uplifted, encouraged, made her feel important, that doesn't cause us to be angry. It's the little boy who belittled us to make us feel that.
Right. And that's good. And that really attests to that we really need each other. If we decide that, if that's what your desire is. But I think that we need each other, and it gives us a better understanding of one another. I'm all about solutions, if there is any, or really trying to come to an understanding. I don't like labels, whatever the label is. I really don't like labels, because we are all individuals. Even on this call, we've had women disagree with other women in love. And I think that that's so important to have that permission to be able to disagree with your sister and still love your sister. Shira said something, people were like, I don't agree with that. We said something to Shira, was like, I don't agree with that. You know, Deirdre also said the same. I mean, we all did at some point. And I think that there's beauty in that. And that really needs to be celebrated. I didn't want to have women on here that all are yes women and say the same thing. What point is that? How are we going to understand one another and really see another point of view if we all got the same point of view? So I think it's so important. And to Shira, finally with you, when you hear angry Black woman, what goes through your mind? What do you think about that?
White people.
I'm sorry?
White people.
Okay, go ahead.
The reason why I say white people is because most of the time when you hear angry Black woman, you hear from a black man that dealt with a white woman. I've heard a man say, Black women are angry. I've heard a man say a Black woman is angry, but I've never heard no one say, you're just an angry Black woman. I've never heard that. I've never heard it directly to me. But when I hear angry Black woman, I think about white people, how white folk have embedded certain things into Black people. And when our men get with white women, it makes them feel like, oh, she's just an angry Black woman because I'm with a Black man. That's what I think. I don't think, I mean, we've been stereotyped for years. You know what I mean? It goes with a part of us as a culture, but when I hear angry Black woman, I hear that, yeah, he got that from a white chick. You know what I mean? Because white women tend to, when they with Black men, feel a certain type of way towards Black women. I only speak it because my sons deal with white women. So I speak it from experience. You know what I mean? Not just putting it out there. No, you know, those conversations I've had with my sons, and I'm like, you know, I told you, don't bring nothing here that ain't right. Because, you know, when you go deal with her family gonna still say you still are in, you know, you still are.
Come on now.
And that's how they gonna deal with you. Now, you know, you done brought Becky over here. I got to run her for a test myself and see if she's going to have the resilience to be able to deal with my mouth. You know what I mean? But when I've heard angry Black woman, it's come from my sons dealing with white women and hearing little bits of conversations. Like, she just mad because I'm with him and he ain't want her. You understand what I'm saying? So it's different views, or it can go different ways, but that's just another way that I wanted to bring it forward, because sometimes it's not just about the Black man just saying, oh, she is about him choosing to deal outside of the race, and then the other person feel that they get a pass. Yeah. And I like that Deirdre brought the career and the work aspect to it and being labeled as that. And then you're talking about the relation aspect. Personally, I've never been called an angry Black woman, but it still offends me just the same when I hear someone else refer to another Black woman.
Right.
Because it doesn't matter if it wasn't said to me. If it was said to my sister, it was said to me. And that's how I truly feel. And we have to be able to stand up for one another, for what's right, and for whatever opinion that other woman has. And we have to learn to respect what another woman has been through and is going through. We have to respect their journey. We can't fix it. We can't change it. We can't always make it right. Sometimes we just need to shut up and listen to that person. You know what I mean? We just need to, because at the end of the day, no matter if we're sisters, no matter if we're loving each other, no matter what we have in common, we all live different lives. We all have different experiences, and not one is better, worse, too bad, too sad. Everybody has a different experience. And that's why it's important, really, and I keep saying this, but it's so important for sisterhood and for us to come together and just really have these conversations. I'm so happy that we did a part 3, and I'm definitely going to do the men and women, and then the men still have another part to do next month. And if you ladies are up for having another part where we can talk about what makes you smile, we're going to talk about our children, we can talk about our careers, our education, but I think that this was important. And again, we prayed however this was going to go, let it go. And that's you guys were real, you were honest, you were authentic. And I don't take it lightly. Thank you so much for sharing you. And I can't, and all of you shared intimate parts of who you are to help heal yourself continuously healing yourself as well as trying to heal others. I appreciate you all rallying behind my girl and loving my girl. You know, I appreciate you, Valencia, for being open and vulnerable and sharing who you are, just like you are. No fix up, no dress up. And I'm not talking about the physical. I'm talking about what you've been through. No dress up, no fix up, no mask, no facade. You came as who you are. You fell asleep because of your medicine. You done moved to 8, 9 different positions. You being who you are. And I love it. And I love it. And I love it. And, you know, I just want to thank you all. As we close out, I just want to say, and I'm going to allow you guys to have the last words, but I want to say I love you all dearly. Thank you so much for doing this. It means the absolute world to me, sincerely. Thank you so much. And I picked the right women. That's what I'm talking about. The right group.
Okay.
So I'm going to go through all of you as we end, and I want you to, this has been about 52 minutes right now. So this is awesome. I'm going to go around and I want you to speak to that man. Any man. It could be your past man. It could be your daddy. It could be someone who hurt you.
Let me think of my man.
And I want you to speak to that man and tell them one thing they need to know about a Black woman. It could be you. It could be your mother, sister, aunt, cousin. But what do they need to know? What do you want them to know? And we're going to start with you, Shadena.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, go, Shadena. And she's single, guys.
Thank you, Valencia.
She's single.
That's why I love her. That's why I love her. You know what? If I had to say just one thing, we're love. We're love.
Valencia?
Why I gotta be next?
And she always got to give me a hard time. That's why I love her. Valencia?
We're resilient.
Okay. Excellent. Taki?
We're powerful.
Candace? Take it off mute.
We're multitaskers. I have a 7 and a 9-year-old, and I'm working very hard for them. But I'm going to share this. Man, we can be loved. We can be cared for as long as we show us respect. Never go wrong.
That's good. Tashira?
Unstoppable.
And Deirdre, the final word? What do you want them to know about us? Say it again.
Can't hear her.
We can't hear you.
I forgot I put that thing on mute. My bad. Oops. Again, we're human.
Yes.
You know, I mean, that at the end of the day, we can be doing all of these wonderful things, but we're still human. We're vulnerable. We get tired. We're human.
And let's once and for all just take the Superwoman cap off. And we don't want to be strong no more. We don't want to be strong all the time.
I'm tired.
Able to take that cap off, that cape, excuse me. We want to be able to take that cape off and just be human, just be soft, just be a woman. Sometimes we can run the show. Don't get it wrong. We can run the show and we have strength like no other. But sometimes We don't want to do all of that. We
That's
just want
right.
to be women, and we just want to
That's
be free to be who we are. We don't want to wear the mask. We don't want to be strong all the time. We don't want to be the head of the household. We don't want to be this. We don't want, sometimes we just want to be a woman first. That's it.
All
Yeah.
right.
Can I say something?
That's it. Yes.
I don't know who the men are, but I like my feet rubbed. I say on them all the time.
Can I get an amen to that?
Right.
Amen to that.
So women, wash your feet. Women smell good. Now, my mother told me, she said a woman should never smell bad, that is.
Well, if you smell yourself, man, there's something wrong with that picture.
Yeah. But I want to again thank everyone and thank you for your time. You know, I respect your time. I thank you so much. We sat on this thing for over 3 hours straight.
Wow.
I appreciate
know.
it.
Wow.
I think my leg might be falling asleep a little bit.
You ain't going to see.
And your family is waiting for that chili.
I know, but
I know. I'm hungry.
because of this quarantine, time seems to be loose. It doesn't seem
But the
like
thing is, this is what we needed to do. God wanted the earth to be still. Nobody knew how to take time out and just say, stop, love your family, love who you with. So right now, we need to take all this in because somebody out there, when we get back to real life and start moving again, watch what I say. Somebody's going to wish they took advantage of the time that God gave them.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And we're going to end with that. And we're going to end with that. So this is a time of stillness. This is a time of reflection. This is a time to improve yourselves, to love on your family, love on the people. Because at the end of the day, if you can't go to the mall, if you can't go, do what you need to do, that's for a purpose. We have to look at it bigger than coronavirus. We're to be still for a reason. And if
I have to give this corporate testimony. I have an 89-year-old grandmother and a 91-year-old grandfather, and guess what? I have never had as much time that I spent with them than I in my childhood. So, and along with my children. So it's a good feeling when I could go to my grandparents and I can spend time. Like you said, time is so precious. I don't know how long Granddad's going to live. I don't know if I pray he lives to 100, but it's not guaranteed. So I will always remember that. Always.
That's right. That's right. And if no one told you were beautiful, ladies, I'm telling you right now, if no one told you were special, I'm telling you right now, if no one told you are a badass, I'm telling you right now, if no one told you were blessed, gifted, and loved, I'm telling you right now. Thank you so much for joining me on Kendell Lenice Live. I mean it, and I love you, ladies. And we're
love
going to
you
be together
too.
soon.
Love you too.
Y'all have a good evening.
Thank you
Thank you. And don't think about being stuck in the house. Think about being safe. God bless.
Thank
God
you.
bless.
Thank you so much.
Love everyone.
3, I gotta say we outdid the guys with these 3 parts. They're gonna be mad about that. But we got stuff to say on the minds of women. Please subscribe, like, and share. Thank you so much. God bless. Peace.